Can you please get out? Hey everyone. Hey Pete. I see Katie, Robin, Britt, Melissa, Carol, Patty. Awesome. We've got about 3 more minutes, everyone. I want to start with legs up the wall. So if you have the ability to find a wall, wonderful, a door, anything. If you don't, you can still, take waterfall. So I see Pete moving to his door there. Cool. So tonight will be our yin for the hips. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. We are going to continue to grow with like our deer pose and our double pigeon, which I think we ran out of time last Tuesday for double pigeon. So I'll make sure we get that in. And then while we still have a couple minutes and I'm actually close to the computer and I can see it, give me requests. Anything that you're just really, really needing or wanting, throw them my way.
Hero's always good with me.
Hero? Okay.
Yeah.
We can definitely do some hero. Everyone has their block or their blanket, whatever they need. Funny, Brittany says, frog, because I was thinking about frog about 30 minutes ago. So we will get frog in there as well. Let's see. Good deal, good deal. All right. So if you have either one of my playlists, I have one called Yin for the neck and shoulders and then another called Yin for the hips. So you can play either one of those. I'll have it in the way background, so you may not even be able to hear it at all, but I am going to play a little music tonight. Hi, Carol. All right, so we're starting with our legs up the wall. And it's 6 o'clock on the dot, so we will begin in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. All righty, let's get started.
Jodi, can I just do waterfall with a prop underneath me, or do I need a wall?
I mean, if you have a door or wall, or you can just take waterfall. No, you don't need a prop underneath you. If you're in waterfall, we're going to come into Baddha Konasana on the wall. So you can take waterfall and then come into Baddha Konasana or bound angle just with your mat. So
Okay.
you don't have to have a wall. All right. Okay, so let's get started. I'll let everyone find their wall or find their waterfall. So this is our 1 hour yin practice this evening, and boy, do I need some yin. Drove back to Chattanooga today, so I did about 6 of the 8 hours of driving, so legs up the wall sounded delicious to me. And Brittany mentioned frog, that also sounded really good. So go ahead and find yourself in a comfortable position. Just start checking in. All right, so if you're anything like me, I think throughout the day of, the things I want to get accomplished, the things that I need to get accomplished, kind of what's going in my body, what I think that I need. And today was one of those days that, driving back, I was kind of forced to physically rest my body. Some of you know we've been doing a lot of yard work. So that takes a toll on my wrists. I took the day off yesterday, and my wrists and hands and ligaments feel a lot better. But, wants and needs, as we all know, are not the same. And sometimes I want more out of my body than my body is willing to give me. So this tonight is exactly what I need. And actually, it's exactly what I want as well. So they actually line up this evening. So if you've got your legs up a wall or a door, see if you can find your sitting bones flush up against that particular structure, whatever it is. And just let your legs just kind of fall to their sides. If you're taking waterfall, very similar. For me, anytime I can stretch my shoulders, I do so. So my arms are over my head. And I'm just starting to tap into my breath. My mind is a little anticipatory today. I haven't been back to my work in almost, 3 weeks, almost a month. So I'm a little nervous about what I'm going to walk into. But again, I have to bring myself back to right in here and now. The unknown is just that. I think a lot of times we make things bigger than they are. And our worries tend to be the same set of worries over and over and over again. So I'm allowing, my body is very calm. My mind again is a little active, maybe a little worrisome. So I'm going to use my breath as that tool to bridge my mind to join my body. Sometimes it's the other way around. So I'm slowing my thoughts down. In the words of Ram Dass, be here now. Maybe you start to gently see what's going on in your neck. Take the head side to side. Maybe you take it up and down. Remember, this practice of yin is very quiet. It's very personal. It can be very contemplative. So just notice what comes up for you. A couple more breaths in waterfall or legs up the wall. Not manipulating the breath just yet. Just notice what your natural depth, rate, rhythm, quality of your breath is. And from here we'll take Baddha Konasana. So just slide your legs down the wall, soles of the feet together. If you're like Carol and you're in waterfall, you'll go ahead and just come to a seat. So bringing the heels closer to the glutes or closer to the sitting bones gets more into the adductors, so the inner thigh muscles that connect. And then if you keep them a little further away, like last week we kind of made that diamond with the legs, you'll feel a little bit more in your outer hips. Similar postures, but not the same. So close your eyes and let's focus now on our breath. Do you notice a nostril that is more dominant, more open, maybe more stuffy? For me, instantly, it's my right nostril. So I'm just noticing, I'm just observing. I'm not trying to change my breath. I'm just in observation mode here. Notice where your edge lies within a yin posture as you begin, and then how it changes the longer you stay in the pose. Remember, yin is really any depth that you want to take it. Yin helps us to improve our energy, our chi, our energy flow. All right, so wherever you are here, did your edge change? Can you go a little bit deeper within the posture that you've chosen for about 2 more breaths? The longer we hold these poses, the deeper we go. And that's evident when we come out of some of the tougher poses, like Pete asking for hero tonight, and I think Brittany asked for Mandukasana frog. So you can feel the depth of those particular postures. And I'm feeling this one actually now as well. So take yourself out mindfully. Again, try not to get distracted by the transition or the movement of moving into the next pose. So let's get right into it. Let's come into our frog. I like to roll up the ends of my mat and double them up. Now tonight, I'm actually upstairs and we've got carpet upstairs, so I'm on carpet. If I were on my tile floor in Florida, I probably would triple my mat because we'll be in this pose a little bit of time here. Again, notice that when I teach yin, I don't talk about 1 more minute or 30 more seconds, because in my mind that creates actually anxiety and it takes me out. Maybe it doesn't create anxiety anymore. It used to really, really create anxiety for me. But now when, 30 more seconds, 2 more minutes, it takes me out of the moment. And all I'm thinking about is what that next 2 minutes is going to feel like and look like. So instead, I like to think about 3 more breaths, 7 more breaths, and then I can focus on my breath, and magically that keeps me right where I'm at. Couple options here within frog. So flexing the feet makes the pose a little bit more active, and it also protects the knees. Starting with coming up to the hands and glomming the hands down on your floor there, or maybe you've got a blanket in front of you, makes this pose a little bit more active. And rocking back and forth, you'll notice it just kind of hits the hip joint capsule in like little different areas. So just notice where you're at with that. I like to consider my frog to have like 2 levels, I guess. My first level, I do start out on my wrists. I'm giving my wrists a break. So for this one, I'm going to modify down to my forearms and kind of just observing with a little bit of movement what the pose feels like in my body. And then once I play around with that a little bit, I'll find the stillness. Practicing the stillness. Practicing resisting movement, fidgeting. We haven't talked about our facial muscles or jaw or lips or tongue. So where's the softness within this pose? It's in your face. Maybe your shoulders. And notice when your mind drifts away, what comes up for you? Actually, at the end of our practice, I'd love for each of you to throw it in the chat room. What comes up for you when you get into a difficult yin pose, or maybe you're in it a long time, longer than you want to be in the pose? You know, do you get frustrated? Do you get pissy? Do you get anxious? Do you get sad? Do you start thinking maybe negative thoughts about yourself, about others? What comes up for you? And really study that. Understand yourself a little bit more. We are halfway in our Mandukasana. So maybe for you, you'll inch the arms out almost like a upper body puppy pose. This is one of those poses when I first started practicing, I mean, it's very vulnerable. I mean, the position your body is in is extremely vulnerable. So I would hold back and not be really in the pose all the way. So what better an opportunity to really dive in and see where you can take this frog pose without anyone around you looking. There's benefits to this virtual stuff for sure. I miss all of you. I miss practicing with other yogis, you know, energy wise, and just having that sense of union and socialization. But this too shall pass. Okay, about 10 more breaths. What comes up for you? Where can you find a little bit more softness within this pose? Where is the sensation? Where are you experiencing the stretch? And where is the strength? All right, last breath. Maybe make this breath deep. Inhale through the nose. Maybe you need a little sigh, exhale out of the mouth, or if you're trying to continue to heat the body, a little harder in yin because we're not moving around, you'll exhale out of the nose. And then slowly, there's only one way to come out. Guide yourself out of your frog very slowly. Give yourself some balance, whatever that is for you. Let's get right into hero pose. So you do have a block, lots of versions of this pose. Let's start with the easiest and then I'll move to the most advanced version of this pose. So the easiest would be to sit on a block and just separate your knees as wide as you need to separate them. The second option, as far as ease goes, would be to extend the right leg forward and just allow your left knee to come out as far as you need it to come out. Toenails face downward, that is to protect the knee. Okay, so that's our modified, and that's, or we call that half pigeon, half vrksasana. Moving a little deeper, this is kind of where I started. My knees were about as wide as my hips were to start. This was years ago. And I couldn't hold it quite as long. And then glomming, pressing the toenails down. I mentioned this last week, moving your calves, getting them out of the way. This is going to allow you to go a little deeper in the pose and not put as much pressure on your knee ligaments and tendons. So there's like option 3. And then option 4 would be to bring the knees together and press them down onto the mat. And then just start to move yourself into the pose. Maybe for you, you're going to sit Let's create a little energy ball with the palms of the hands and close the eyes until your edge changes within this pose and you're not focused so much on, maybe here would be the quadricep group of muscles and the knees, and you've just found that kind of just like landed, right? So for me, I'm ready now. My knees are ready, my thighs feel ready, and I'll begin to start to walk my hands back. Just had a little pop in my shoulder, so I'm going to stop here. I am on my forearms. Careful not to hyperextend the neck here. Swallow, protect the cervical spine. It's such a delicate area of the body. You definitely don't ever want to break any of your discs or your vertebrae in your neck. I have never, thank goodness, but I sure have taken care of plenty that have broken cervical vertebrae. So protect your neck, protect your knees, they're yours. I'll give halfway point, we're not there yet. So the full expression, find yourself down onto the mat, shoulder blades, tucking the chin, again creating length all the way through the crown of the head. So I'm moving into that final expression for me. And like I said, just started working on this probably the last year, year and a half, is actually pressing my knees down. Nothing hurts. I'm just right at my edge. So if I went any further or any faster to get here, most likely I'd hurt myself. Halfway right now. So maybe you want to take the arms over the head. Make sure you're not clenching the jaw or pursing the lips. I find in Yin, when I close my eyes, I personally go further inward. Maybe for you, you've got a focal point, maybe a candle, a dog, cat. Breath in traditional Yin is just like an observatory breath, so it's a natural breath, whatever you naturally breathe. Every now and then I'll manipulate my breath and take a deep inhale and a deep exhale, but for the most part, it's just a normal breath. What happens a lot of times is we get into these tougher poses or longer hold times, we start to stifle the breath and it becomes more choppy, more shallow, and not as genuine. Again, if your back is sensitive, I just caught myself really pushing my knees down, and my low back just said, hey Jodi, can you back out a little bit? So I separated my knees maybe an inch or two, totally changed the posture, made it to where I can stay here and I'm more relaxed. My upper body just relaxed more. I have more surface area on my mat. Let's go with our last 3 pranayama. If your eyes are closed, maybe you take the gaze up to the third eye center. Just as we transitioned very slowly into the pose, and then maybe you advanced yourself further and deeper, you'll come out the same way. So use your hands, use your forearms as support. Wherever we have compression, we need to offer decompression. So we did have some compression of the low back. It was temporary, and it's actually good for you to do it in small increments. So for me, my knees get real sore after I come out of this pose. So I'm just kind of stretching through my legs. And so the decompression of the low back I will offer you rabbit, child's pose. If you want something more active to get the legs involved, maybe you come with me and you take downward facing dog. Just for a couple breaths. All right, moving next. You're in no rush, so take your time coming out. I think the worst thing to do is when we go from one thing, whatever that thing is, to the next, and maybe we haven't even taken a moment to absorb that thing, right? We're so quick to jump to the next. So we're coming into our wide forward fold here. Straddle. In the yin world, it's called straddle. So I am going to grab my block. I like to start out with this pose with my forehead to the block until I reach my new edge. All right, so it changes, it shifts, it moves, and then I'll remove the block, or maybe take it on its second level. So I got it on the highest level. I'm gonna make this pose active to start. How do I make it active? I flex my toes, I point my toes, I'm just active in my legs. You can make it passive the whole darn time and just let your legs do whatever they're going to do. And then start inching yourself forward. Make sure, I didn't give this cue last week because there's so many cues for every pose and it's too much. I already think I talk a little too much in yin, but your knees need to stay on top of your legs. If they are inverted, when you come forward, your legs are probably too wide. So bring them a little bit closer together. And then come down. A little bit of movement in the beginning to kind of understand where your middle ground is. At least that's how it is for me. So if your adductors, your inner thighs are really tight, and maybe you're just struggling with just keeping the legs as wide as you chose, then just tuck your chin down, close your eyes, and just be where you're at. If you're chosen a little deeper expression, maybe you're on the forearms. Begin to continue to walk the hands forward. Maybe play around there for a couple breaths. If you've taken the full expression already, or you're moving into the full expression with a chest, the entire torso is on the mat and on your ground, there's one more option for this pose. So the chin is on a surface, hopefully not a tile surface, hopefully something a little bit cushiony. Interlace the hands behind the back. Again, we do not turn our neck in this pose, and you can bring the shoulders into this posture. It's very intense, very advanced, so don't think you have to go here. Every pose is relative to exactly where you are in your body, in your headspace, in the age of your life. As long as you are feeling something that is a little yummy and a little uncomfortable, you're probably right where you need to be within the pose. Three more breaths. So from here, let's move within this pose. So walk over to your right leg. Try to square your hips off as much as you can. Square your shoulders off. The hips are not going to be square, by the way, but you're attempting to draw that left shoulder, left hip forward. And begin to walk closer to your right leg. You can keep it active by pointing or flexing, or just passive. Left side body stretch, which feels absolutely amazing right here. I'm at my edge. Where is the softness? Where is the sensation? Where is the stretch? And where is the strength? So my edge just changed now. So maybe you come with me and take your left hand outside of your right foot. Little opposition here, really getting into the left side body. Take another breath, breathe in. Maybe sigh it out, maybe horse breath it out. and walk through the middle. Other side here. Again, attempting to square off the hips and the shoulders. I get long from my sitting bones all the way through the crown of my head. And then I begin my descent. If you're craving a deeper version of the same pose here, right hand outside of the left foot, it just offers yourself more leverage. So I just noticed that my breath got a little bit short and a little bit stifled. So now I'm just going to breathe. Come out any which way here. And this one for the Sanskrit scholars out there is Upavishta Konasana. Kona meaning angle. All right, come on out. Let's switch away for the legs. Right and left. I promised we'd get double pigeon because we ran out of time on actually last Tuesday because Thursday was shoulders. So we are sitting, so let's go ahead. No, actually we're going to save that one. Let's go ahead and come to our back and get into our recline. One of my favorites, recline twist. So on the back, bring your right knee into your chest. I just think this is like ice cream for your hips. They're just, and your low, for me, my low back just gets real tight. I wouldn't say I have low back pain, but I definitely have tightness in my low back, stiffness. So this supine recline twist not only detoxifies and gets in our digestive system, but it also releases that low back. So right knee in towards the chest. Go ahead and interlace the hands right underneath the right knee. Let the left leg just fall and be natural here. Tuck the chin down. Smile and swallow. So let's begin our twist here. Couple options I gave last week. I'm going to give a couple different ones this week. So let's start by shifting our hips a little bit over towards the right. This just keeps the spine in alignment. So we took just your traditional, bringing the right knee across the body. Maybe it finds a block. Maybe it finds eventually the floor. Maybe you extend the leg out and take the cat pulling its tail version of this pose. Or I like this guy sometimes. I like to take Gardasana, so eagle. I like to eagle my legs. It just gets into my low back more. I guess it's the pressure of both of my legs at the same kind of angle. Really releases my low back. So if you want a neck stretch and you always go one direction, go the different direction. Maybe gaze over your left shoulder instead of your right shoulder. Maybe you field goal your right shoulder. No rights or wrongs here, just safe and relevant to you. All right, right where you're at, if your eyes are not closed, close your eyes. If your lips are not slightly open, unpurse your lips. And notice what body parts are touching your mat or your floor. And make a conscious effort here to bring so much letting go, so passive here, that more of your body finds your mat. Try your best not to move around. Three more breaths. See if you can come out with very little effort, very little movement as you find your supine reclined twist on the other side. Maybe stir the pot with the left knee. When you're ready, shift the weight over just a little bit to the left. Take the same process that you took on the first side, take it here. I went right to eagle legs. And here I actually let my left shoulder lift. And I'll work through time on bringing it back down. So a lot of times we say keep the shoulders on the mat and then allow the knee or the knees to find the floor or the mat. I just kind of reversed it. So I went right for my knees, and now I'll slowly, with softness, with mindfulness, see if I can bring my left shoulder back down to the mat. I feel gold in my arm. I'm going to do the same here. It gets into the pec minor muscle that's right underneath the major muscle. And for many, I'd say the majority of us humans, that's a very tight muscle. So maybe you kind of just found your edge here, and you can begin to go deeper. Or again, maybe practicing that let go, where more of your body is touching your floor space and your mat space. The more we practice stillness, stillness in our body, stillness in our mind, on our mats, the more you will see the same stuff in your life. I certainly do. Took me a couple minutes though to get it. And now it's a tool that is always with me. Whether or not I'm with family, with friends, I have that tool with me no matter what. It's calming, and it's mine. Take about one more breath and stay in the pose all the way to the bottom of your exhale before you start to come out. All right, 2 more poses left. We're practicing deer, so we're taking deer, and then we'll end in our double pigeon. So come on up to seated. We'll bring our left shin bone forward and the right leg is behind. Now, easier, we have our heels closer to our legs. The full expression, both legs are at a 90-degree angle. Now, for me, like this right leg, I'm not gonna quite be there yet. So I'm gonna bring my leg back in a little bit. My left is fine. So a couple versions of this pose. You can grab a bolster, I don't have one to show, or a pillow, and place it to your left here and kind of hug it, come down. You'll feel a right side body stretch here, outer hip, external rotators. If you want to go deeper, maybe not right now, but you can begin to walk your hands even further away, more like behind you. And then if you want more, maybe you drop down, you create a little shelf for your forehead with your hands, and you drop down. I just slid my right leg out a little further to create that 90-degree angle. I wasn't ready about 30 seconds ago. But that's the relationship that I have with myself. I'm working every day on just being a better version of myself and not pushing my envelope all the time. Sometimes I don't know when to stop, and I suffer from it. Okay, 3 more breaths here. Bottom of your last exhale. You'll simply come up. You'll definitely feel that in the torso and the side body. Trying to find my sitting bones. My right sitting bone did pop up in that pose. That's something you can work on. But you've really got to have an open inner thigh on this right to make that happen. So we'll come to the other side now. Now my right shin bone will be parallel to the edge of my mat here. And I'm creating that 90-degree angle. So maybe for you, you have to inch the leg out. Just find it. Know that the full expression, both legs are at a 90-degree angle. And for me, my anatomy, my left sitting bone it is not on the mat. It's up just a little bit. And now I'll start to walk my hands over towards the right, maybe my hands, maybe my forearms. Maybe I rest my head on my block or my bolster or pillow. Breathe into that left side body. And what comes up for you? Yin is that quiet, sometimes considered dark, kind of shadowy place within ourselves. But that's a part of us. How can we experience, bliss or extreme, excitement and happiness truly if we haven't experienced sorrow and sadness? That's where the yin is to the yang. We need both, we have both, we are both. Again, take about 3 more breaths. If you took a little bit deeper version and you're ready for it, if you're not already there, move your arms further. Last breath. Begin to come out. Try not to attach to any sensations, just feel them out. And we'll come into Agni Stambhasana, so double pigeon. Pick your side. If you kind of tend to always start with one hip, start with the other hip. I encourage that. It's good to think out of the box. It's good to try new things and go to new places. So if that means anything to you, I'm going to start with my left leg on top in this pose. You may also take a block in between if you're really tight and you just can't find that place where you can set yourself up to be somewhat comfortable within a pose that's not comfortable. Find it, whatever that means to you. So let's inhale, take arms overhead, little flow. Exhale, hands at heart center. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more time, big breath in. Big breath out. Tuck the chin, close the eyes. Stay here with hands at heart center. This is always an option. You can take Gomukhasana, cow face arms. So my left leg is on my top. So I'll bring my right arm on top or over top. So that's an expression. And then through time, you can begin to walk the hands forward, finding your forehead to your knee, your shin, your mat. Just think of the S's that we've talked about. Where's the softness? So for me, I just caught myself furrowing here with my eyebrows. So the softness for Jodi is in her face, her ears, the stretch. Where is the stretch in this pose? For me, outer left hip. I am at my edge. I have found the stillness within the pose, even through the discomfort. Where is the sensation? In addition to my left hip, my low back is getting an amazing stretch. I'm massaging my third eye. There's sensation there. Going into my temples. Hey, it's your face, right? Maybe you want to massage your feet here. Whatever you've chosen, own it for a few more breaths. All right, on your next exhale, see if you can go just a tad bit more or deeper. For me, I'm walking my elbows just a little further away. And then come out. Sometimes for me, double pigeon is easier than our lying version of pigeon. And then other times it's harder. It's just where I'm at. So maybe windshield wiper the legs. Maybe you're ready just to jump right into, this pose is also called fire log. So you may hear it called double pigeon, you may hear it called 90-90, you may hear it called fire log, but it's all the same pose. You can make this passive. I have not flexed my feet. My knees are good. I don't need to do that. But if you do have knee issues, a little bit of flexion in your feet helps to kind of stabilize that knee joint a little bit more. So let's flow again. So inhale, arms up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Again, choosing to stay here. Maybe pick a mudra for your fingers. place of stillness. Not gonna lie, it takes practice. All right, wherever you are, 10 more breaths. You have time to go deeper within your expression. You have time to just breathe and be still. So breathe in and breathe out 3 more times. Every time we hold a pose, we're making our connective tissue longer. And that's a good thing. And to bring yourself out. Okay, offering tonight. You can take a seated meditation. We have not taken Shavasana. We did not start there. Or you can take Shavasana, and we are over already. It's one thing with Yin, I don't look at time very much. So guys, yeah, we are a little bit over. If you've got to go, I understand, but I'm gonna offer 2 minutes. 2 minutes of seated Shavasana or Shavasana. And I will watch the time, so find your spot. And I'll bring everybody back out. begin to come back. If you're in seated meditative pose, just gently blink the eyes open and take the arms over the head, bringing them to heart center. If you're in lying Shavasana, give yourself a nice long body stretch. Arms over the head, legs stretching in opposite direction. And then just bring your hands, everyone, at heart center. I found this quote just a little while ago and I just loved it. Accept your dark side. Understanding it will help you to move with light. Knowing both sides of our souls helps us all to move forward in life and to understand that perfection doesn't exist. Thank you, yogis, for a great yummy yin. Everyone enjoy your evening. Try to keep this peace as you move into your evening and into your night. Just try it. So the divine light in me sees and honors the divine light in you. And we'll end tonight. Let's all say together, I can't hear you, but we'll all say together, Namaste. Namaste, guys. Thank you all. One more thing, no class on Thursday. I am working and I work till like 7:15, so I don't think anybody wants an 8 to 9 yin, but if you have an interest in it, I would not be be upset teaching that late. So something to think about. Same goes for Tuesday. I'm working my Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So anyway, and please let me know, privately or in this chat, what comes up for you when you get in some of these poses. So thank you all. Have a great evening. All right, bye guys. Thanks, Tara. Thanks, Katie. Brittany, I got your frog in there. All right, cool. Thanks, Melissa. You guys are awesome. That's very true. Well said, Carol. Yep, your breath is your tool, and if you really believe that and take it into your life, it's a beautiful, it's magical. It really works. All right, bye everyone. See ya.